Do you still see your neurosurgeon? Are you still in contact with the doctors? Do they know that you're on a new diet? Have they commented on any of this stuff?
I am not seeing my neurosurgeons at all. I'm seeing the prolotherapy doctor that I saw in Florida to get the injections in my neck, that regenerative medicine. So he's really the only doctor that I've been seeing over the last couple of years. I kind of think that most of my doctors had good intentions and really did want to help me, but I think in a lot of cases they do more harm than good. You know, what happened with me. And so I just don't feel very comfortable seeing doctors anymore. I don't feel comfortable being in that setting or being in a hospital or whatever, because they weren't able to help me when I was at my worst. I do want to write them letters just telling them of what has helped me and how I'm doing now, because I think, you know, some of them might be interested and be open-minded about some of the things I'm doing. So
Yeah, and let me just because you've mentioned two of them, certainly, diet, carnivore diet, which is, kind of why you're here, I guess, but, and the prolotherapy, and brain retraining. So what are the combination of things you've done to sort of overcome or get you where you are to make this improvement?
I think the biggest things for me have been diets, and then brain retraining, and prolotherapy would come in third. And honestly, I would say the brain retraining was just as impactful as the diets. And I think some of that stems from being told by doctors for so long that you're not going to heal. If you don't believe you're going to heal, then you're not going to, no matter what you're eating. Then it's just not going to be possible. And when you're told for so long you have these incurable diseases, then that kind of, you have to like retrain your brain to realize, no, like I can heal. And that was a really big turning point for me in my healing journey, when I realized that I could get better. And I was always positive. I was always hopeful that I would have a better quality of life than I did then. But I thought, this is going to be something I'm going to have to deal with for the rest of my life. But when I just sort of let go of those limiting beliefs and started to let myself fully believe that I could heal, that was a turning point for me.
Yeah, I think the point you're making about actually having a belief, and that's shown about any intervention. If you don't believe it's going to happen, then most likely you're going to reduce the likelihood of being successful. So you have to have some sort of conception that you can heal to be able to do that. So good for you for doing that. Have you ever been tempted to say, hey, I'm going to try to add, whatever fruit or, that's just pretty popular now, people adding fruit. Have you added things to the diet? And if so, have they been problematic for you, or have you played with that at all?
I was really, really strict for the first most of the year. I didn't deviate at all or try anything else at all, just because I wanted to just give my body the best chance that I could to let it heal. And I didn't want to set myself back by trying other things. But in the last couple of months, I've been a bit more okay with having a bite of something else here and there, just to see. At first, I did react pretty negatively to trying other things, but now I think the brain retraining has helped with that as well, because I think sometimes people, all they hear is carnivore diet related stuff, and so they almost get it in their head that if they eat anything else, that they're just going to have reaction to it, and because they think that, they do. With the brain retraining, I've been able to introduce some other foods without any reaction. But I really I like the simplicity of carnivore. And so I typically do 100%, but I'll have a strawberry, or I'll have a small bite of something that's like a whole food. I'm not going to have anything with seed oils. I'm not going to have anything with sugar. Those are pretty non-negotiable for me. But I also tried a little bit of honey. That was another thing that I tried. Sometimes I can tell I have a little bit of a reaction, but not too severe anymore.
Yeah, so you keep it in very small amounts and avoid the garbage that most of us eat, like you would have been eating in college and all that stuff, for sure. As far as your goals at this point, you said you want to get back to rock climbing. I don't know if family, or having a family, or having kids, or having a career. What are your aspirations at this point? And are you continuing to see progress on a weekly basis? Are you continuing to get better each week?
I don't know about on a weekly basis. Things are up and down, but I'm continuing to go upwards and be on an upward trajectory with my healing. And so I expect to make a full recovery. I expect to be 100% healthy and active and being able to do hopefully all the things that I used to do. And as for goals, I do want to be a mother one day. I do want to have kids. I look forward to that because for so long, I didn't think that would be a possibility. And then as for like athletic goals, I'm hoping to be able to climb again. And actually my neck stuff is kind of what's still holding me back from being able to climb again, but it's gotten so much better. So I am thinking that I'll be able to climb again and be able to enjoy that. I really enjoy, skiing, hiking, all those things and traveling. So yeah, I just hope to be able to do everything.
Yeah, just get back to kind of a normal life for sure. And it sounds like you're well on your way. I know you're on social media, so you have people probably commenting either good, bad. Probably, I would assume mostly it's positive. I have to imagine. Anybody you've been able to impact to influence their diet or anything like that, or have you tried to do that, or is that really what you try to mess with that at all?
Yeah, I've had a lot of messages of people telling me that they have seen amazing improvements. And what's really cool about it is that, I think in the carnivore community, it's pretty rare to see someone with the conditions that I have sharing their story. And that's one of the reasons why I want to share my story, because I know how difficult it is to be that sick. And I know there's still a lot of people that are as sick as I was or worse. I just hope that through sharing, I can impact people and just give them the hope that they are going to be able to heal and have a better quality of life. Even if you don't get to 100%, 90% better is amazing and incredible. And I've gotten messages from probably dozens of people with EDS that said they've gone either animal-based or carnivore and have seen just completely life-changing results. And that to me is just amazing. I hope more people will start to share their story that have EDS or Chiari and dysautonomia or POTS. I hope that more people will share their story, because I think that's a community that really needs hope. Unfortunately, it seems like people are not seeing healing and progress by going to all these top specialists for the conditions that I have.
Yeah, I forgot you mentioned the Ehlers-Danlos syndrome or the EDS. I mean, that's something that really shocked me the first time I saw someone improve significantly by going on a carnivore diet. I was really, and I remember the interview I did. It was with a physician, an ER physician in, I want to say, the Netherlands, or perhaps I think Denmark actually. And she was, a physician, said, I've got EDS. I wake up every day with dislocated joints. And she went carnivore within a month, no more dislocations. And she's maintained that for several years now, which I think is quite amazing, that something like a genetic connective tissue disorder responds to a dietary change, which to me really just was something that really blew my mind away. And we didn't even touch on your aspect of that. And so hypermobility, were you having subluxations and things like that prior to?
Yeah. I had very frequently had subluxations, joint pain. My jaw was dislocated. Actually, it still kind of is, but I had several procedures under anesthesia on my jaw. They wanted to do jaw surgery. Thankfully, I never did that. But overall, my joint pain has decreased so much. It's mostly gone. And I don't see those subluxations or dislocations really at all anymore. And so I think, along with the prolotherapy in my neck was my worst instability. I was completely partially dislocating my neck just from moving. And I think the diet probably was a big part, along with the prolotherapy, to help stabilize my neck again, so I don't have to wear the neck brace anymore. And yeah, it's just really cool, because I think a lot of people that have EDS are told by doctors that they won't get any better. They're going to be sick for the rest of their lives. They're just going to have to try to manage. I just personally think that can't be further from the truth. I think that there's always room for healing and improvement.